At the same point, fellas, there comes a time you gotta let know. You can be humble, that is great, but there is time to let a motherfucker know who you are, and what we wear across our chest.
But you guys are just kind of like the ticks that are just always there. You're never gonna kill the chaos.
You can never count out the teams in this league or the chaos with that defense and the goalie that they have back ending them.
Welcome back to episode 25. We're back in person for the Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Show presented by Duke Cannon on the beautiful Lacrosse Network. We got Hilge, we got Doogs, Kev is virtual, but we're going to get right into it. Biggest takeaways of the week. I'm going to start this week. You can never sleep on the chaos. And Phelps, I hate to say it, none of us picked them. And look where they are. They obviously won. Is chaos, is it their time to shine?
Yeah, I mean, the chaos, they're not going to win the PLL championship, but they're gritty. They play hard week after week.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, honestly, I think I would agree.
Okay.
I do not think the Chaos will win the championship. I don't think that's the hottest take of all time. The Chaos are who the Chaos are. In that sense, it's like going into this year, I think that everyone was really down on them. I'm like, this is probably name-wise the worst roster we've seen in PLL
And we chatted
history.
about that.
Yeah,
we said that.
I would still stand by that when I say it, but I always said from the get-go, you can never count out the teams in this league or the Chaos with that defense and the goalie that they have back ending them. And then going off that one more time is like, they can win games.
Yeah, they can.
I never doubt that they can win games.
Dude, let's stay on you. Does it shock you they've gotten to 3 wins?
No.
Okay.
No. Who's their
Interesting.
goalie?
Blaze Reardon.
Legend.
But let's not forget, last year at this time, you want to talk about your Water Dogs?
Yeah, man. I mean,
It's kind of crazy, though. It just shows you the competitiveness of this league.
Yeah, and I was even like kind of chatting with some like players like postseason, like even like into this season, just about like the Water Dogs and how they like lucked into Kirsten away, and they're like, yeah, look, like it's just like how it goes. Like you could lose these 1-goal games like the Water Dogs.
Yep.
And I was like, if you're the Cannons who were 1 seed last year, and it's like, what's one team you don't want to play? They potentially might say the Water Dogs, who had like what 1 win last year.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that with like the Archers in a way.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I think the craziest part about that last year, and we'll keep going here, is I remember questioning you each week, like, do you still think the Water Dogs are not the worst team in the league? And I think every week you were like, I don't think so. But statistically, they were.
Right. It was a hard argument to like argue against.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 100%. But no, Chaos, they're sitting at 5th in the league right now,
Right.
3-3. And again, you want to talk about the playoff standings?
Yeah, I mean, the chaos, though, are exactly what we thought they were, right?
Yep.
They're going to be stingy each week. There's never an easy win in this league. We know that. That's been shown for years since the start of this league. But the chaos have always kind of been that team since the start of the league. They're a pain in your butt, right? They make the playoffs as a 6th seed. They win the PLL championship.
Yep.
You don't show up, they're going to beat you each week. So, yeah, am I surprised maybe that they're at 3 right now at this point, and they're in 5th place right now, basically a week after the All-Star break? Like, that's pretty surprising. They're in a great spot. They're a game out of Champ Series right now. They'd currently be the 2 seed in the West if the playoffs started today. So if I said I would have seen that coming when I saw their roster come out before week 1 in Albany, I'd be lying if I said I saw that. But, yeah, I mean, the playoff standings, I think it's crazy right now if you look at it. I think people would argue, at least through the first half of the year, the Chaos and the Redwoods probably – as of late, are probably the 2 worst teams.
Yep.
Like people would say the Chaos probably all year. And then at least now I'd say people say the Redwoods are probably the worst team in the league.
Yep.
So those 2 teams right now are the 2 and 3 seed right now in the West. The Archers would be out of the playoffs if it started today.
Yes.
And the crazy thing is the winner of the Redwoods Chaos game right there would be in the semifinal. So essentially, as of right now, the Chaos or the Redwoods are 1 game away from being in the PLL championship, which is crazy at this point in the year. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming if
Definitely.
we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think for the Chaos, too, when it comes to making a run, I don't know if the offense really is just like fully there
Yes.
talent-wise, but what I will give the offense a lot of credit for is kind of playing with this swagger that they're like, we have nothing to lose.
Yes, they don't.
And they're and they kind of have a swagger to them, like this like no-name offense. Like it's names. I think Zawad is honestly probably one of the more underrated players in the league.
We got Eicher, too.
Like, Cross is coming into his own.
Yes.
Eicher. I mean, there's just like Ross Scott.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll
I
talk
said
about
this
that
a
a little
couple
later.
weeks ago, and I'm like, I mean this in no disrespect, but it's like the island of misfit toys, right?
Yeah.
They don't have like that one star, and it's kind of just a bunch of guys. It's like, you think about Sergio Perkovic back to his old Motor City Hitman ways against Boston before the All-Star break, right? Like a different guy each week. You even got Justin Inacio, wasn't even on the team 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's been great for them at the faceoff. Actually scored the go-ahead goal in the fourth quarter. So it's like a bunch of random guys who are just stepping up for them week after week, and they don't have that star. They don't have that guy besides Blaze Reardon, who you're gonna put on the posters. You're gonna put on the T-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
And each week, just like, all right, who's going to step up, who's going to play well? And I think that's what's led them to have so much success, right? Is It's like a bunch of guys who want to prove people wrong, who want to say they hear everything, right? We know the lacrosse world. Everyone hears everything. Everyone in the league knows what you said, knows, what people think about them, knows what the media is saying, the narrative. So, like, you don't think they're like, yeah, like, no one thinks I should be in the PLL, like a guy like Cross Ferrara or something like that. Like, I'm going to show up and have 3 goals today.
Yeah.
Like,
as a media, too, like, I've been doing this now 6 seasons, and every single season, people pick against the chaos.
Yeah.
They make it their whole thing. Nobody's with us. And they've made a living off it.
They have.
And every year, us as media, we do the same thing where we're like, we're all going to do it.
Yep.
Us just
100%. In week 1, if I told you in week 7 the Archers would be in last place statistically, would you think I was telling the truth?
I would not have said that. I mean, look, they were my championship pick, but, I didn't know necessarily. I mean, it's hard to go, win 3 years in a row. We see what happened with Notre Dame. Like, they were obviously good this year, but were they really ever the championship contender that they should have been? I don't think they really ever came into full form.
Yep.
Kind of like the Archers. I expected them to be at the top. I didn't know if they'd be one of the best teams all year long.
Yeah.
But I expected them to be definitely the top. I definitely expected them to be at least 1 or 2 in the West. But I will say, in defense of the Archers, I've been a very big Archers guy this whole year long. But if you look at the rest of their schedule, they got the Chaos twice, they got the Redwoods, and then they got the Outlaws. So all Western Conference teams to finish the year. Obviously, there's no easy win in this league. Obviously, there's no easy game in this league. But I think if you're an Archers fan, you're 2-4, and you look at that schedule, you see an avenue to go 5-5, 6-4 down the road there. I know even with the problems. Whereas if I was 2-4 right now and I said, oh, I got the Atlas, the Water Dogs, and the Cannons the next 3 weeks, it might be season over, if that makes any sense.
I like that.
I think I've heard this argument before.
Yeah.
I
I think we've heard this story before.
I said the same exact thing with the Water Dogs. I was like, they got the whips.
Yep.
They got this. And I think the next game, the whips beat them like 20-6. Their worst loss of the season.
And that's how it goes. Because the league is so competitive. But, Kev, we got you all the way down there in South Carolina. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could have predicted that the Archers would be in last place at this point in the season. The 2 things they got to figure out is their offense, and they got to figure out the face-off situation. Sisselberger being hurt definitely is not a good situation. Jake Naso coming in, you wanted him to bring a little bit more off the street, but honestly, that's just not working for them. So, got to figure out those 2 things. The good thing is, when you look at the bottom of the West, you're right, Hoagie. They do kind of control their destiny. If I'm the Chaos, I know I'm a game up on them, but I have to keep a game up on them because they got that 15-point score differential right now in the negatives. I think as long as the Archers can tie with Chaos in terms of wins and losses, they'll be good to get into the playoffs. But when we're talking about winning playoff games, I don't know if either of those teams are looking like they can do it at this moment. I trust the Archers a little bit more to get it together. Nice piece that they got back this week was Trey LeClaire. Their offense looked a little bit better once he started going.
I mean, look, too, when you look at the playoff format, right, like the Outlaws are, let's say the Outlaws are probably going to be the number 1 seed in the West. I'd be shocked at this point if the Outlaws weren't, right? So that means if the Archers do sneak in there, like Kev said, they're going to either be playing the Redwoods or the Chaos in that first-round game. I think, they get that game and they play in a semifinal game against the Outlaws. They have the championship pedigree, the back-to-back champs. They've been in those big moments. Outlaws players have not been in that position on a big stage like that. There is a way that the Archers could still end up playing in the championship game. I don't know if I'm confident enough to say still to this point that they're good enough to beat whoever comes out of the West.
Yep.
I need to see more. I need to see them build. I need to see what's happening with Matt Moore, Mac O'Keefe, and everyone coming back. But they are last place in the league right now, but it's not as bare as you think. If they were in the Eastern Conference, it would be a different discussion. But the difference between the East and West right now, I'm looking at the playoff bracket. The East is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
The big key to me on that side is the number 1 seed in that conference is going to be huge to have to avoid that 2-3 first round game to basically just get you into the semifinal game. I mean, right now you'd have Atlas at 1, Water Dogs 2, Cannons 3. The winner of that Water Dogs Cannons game, you got to win that game.
Yep.
Then you go play the Atlas. Whoever wins that game, then you got to play the team like the Outlaws. It's a grind to get there.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a potential way that the Outlaws get to play Chaos or Redwoods in the semifinal.
And we chatted about that, the East being the tougher conference. I know we kind of went back and forth with some of us, but I think before we hop on to Boots on the Ground in Chicago from Dr. Doogs, we got to talk about the Duke Cannon work harder, smell better moment of the week. Do we know what it is? And before we say it, do we want to smell some new scents? Because we haven't smelled Midnight Swim yet. We've been big on the bourbon scent, obviously the body wash as well. But what do we got here? Give it to Doogs. Give it to Doogs.
Midnight Swim. That's clean.
Midnight Swim. Look at that. Midnight Swim. Maybe the Outlaws are doing a Midnight Swim. We'll go to that.
I just got back from Chicago. I need a shower bad. I'm taking this with me.
Duke Cannon work harder, smell better moment of the week. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Ross Scott's goal.
Wow.
The go-ahead.
Yep.
The go-ahead.
The Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Shout out
Scarlet
Scotty
Knight. He looked
Royster.
good. He looked really good.
Looked
What was it like seeing that in person?
Dude, just show Chicago overall or the goal?
I think let's go both.
All right. Well, Ross Scott won. Wheels.
Yes.
Talk about quickness, speed.
Yes.
He played street lacrosse the other night.
Yeah, kind of looks like Pehlke back in the day. Shifty. Yeah. We
Right,
can keep
he
that
could
going.
finish
Played
it back
against
in the
Ross
net.
Scott.
Yeah, we did.
He was really good at finishing it, though. Pause. No, but it was great. I mean, those jerseys, too. The
Yes,
throwback jerseys.
swaggy.
Looked sick. Everybody
Swaggy.
looked like jacked in them, a little tight.
And I was kind of like, I think we can do more there, but in pictures, we just talked about this pre-recording, they look swaggy.
Yeah, they looked, the uniforms, obviously, like the Redwoods one wasn't my favorite. When I saw it on like the Instagram post, looked so much better in person with the yellow popped. And then even like the Philly ones that everyone, I
Philly
think,
was sick.
everyone
Philly was
online on
swaggy.
Twitter hated the Philly ones. I thought they looked sick
Yeah. I
live.
thought they
Under the
looked
lights at night, they were dope.
How was Chicago, though?
Amazing. I think look, I've been on the record on being PLL locations. I think Fairfield was my number one for a while. Chicago, Northwestern Stadium, easily beat it.
Really?
Wow.
On the water,
Wow.
scenic. I mean, talk about getting demand for a market, in a non-traditional hotbed area. The boat was so cool. Just having the guys out there on the boat. I mean, was it breaking the wheel of intense lacrosse?
But did we start that in this building?
Oh,
I mean,
Flash
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, flash it up. I mean, were we the ones that really kicked that whole
Aircraft
idea in
carrier,
motion?
yeah.
Aircraft carrier. We had conversations.
To have a lacrosse game played on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Unreal.
Let's do Army Notre Dame on the carrier next fall. TLN sponsored classic. You can flip the coin, be out there for the opening handshake, Doogs.
He's having a championship weekend.
I mean, it's really the guy that called and left a voicemail, but
How about the Outlaws, too, jumping in the water after the
Yeah,
win? That was so sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. The boat going into street lacrosse. I think there was a buzz in the city, and a real buzz. People walking up, being like, "What's going on here?" Oh, the PLL's in town. What's the PLL? It's a professional lacrosse league. Oh, I used to play lacrosse. Where are they playing? People legitimately asking these questions. Where I've never heard it before. In the street lacrosse sense. So, Chicago, there was a demand.
Yeah.
They pumped the stadiums. I was standing in the bleachers with my buddies. And I mean, I was literally like this.
Wow.
And it was like, why can't they open up the other side? I don't know, if it was a Northwestern call or just there was only so many people, security wise, but there's a real demand. Where now when they come back to Chicago, if it's at the same venue, I really think
open it all up.
I really think if they open up the entire thing, it could fully sell out.
Yeah.
They sold out the
That's
tickets that they had
so
allotted,
sick. Yeah.
but I really think they could fully sell out. Because
Yeah.
people were waiting outside the stadium. I had kids that watched the MPLS show.
Really?
In my DMs being you got an extra ticket.
Really?
That is sick.
And my buddy
Pump
had
it up for the fans, baby. Let's go.
We ended up having an extra ticket, walk up, the kid goes, someone else gave me his.
Wow.
So
Let's
that's the lacrosse
Let's
community helping the lacrosse community.
You want to talk to the fans out there? How many fans do we see in the game?
Oh, at the stadium?
Yeah.
A lot of Pelkinators out there.
A lot of fans, baby.
A lot of frogs.
A lot of frogs. I got frogs from Doogs. I got frogs from you guys in the DMs. Appreciate you guys watching, but they're asking you about takes and everything, questioning your takes, right?
Mitch, another day, another dollar. This is, come on.
How do you react when a 9-year-old is bashing you about your takes?
I mean, to be honest, I don't have camps with them. I'm not John. I'm not asking them to subscribe to my YouTube. I
You're a nice guy.
I like the 40-year-old dads that
Yeah.
like
Have an IPA. I like
that
the girls.
Yeah, that are in the bar down lounge. Yeah, I like those dads. So I don't really know how to interact with these kids.
Okay.
And when they tell me that I'm wrong, I get angry.
Okay. Which you need to.
Yeah. No, but I love the kids that come up to me.
Yeah.
They're seriously great. I love chopping it up with them.
Yeah.
Love busting their chops. I love when they hit the frogs. It's great.
I
I
like
saw
that, I like
Kev,
that.
too, tweeted the squirrel, the video of the squirrel in the end zone.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a little squirrel there. Dukes, I got a question for you. You were on the ground for street lacrosse. Who you taking in a Braveheart, Lonzo Ball or Taco Fall?
Dude, Taco Fall was so much better lacrosse than Lonzo Ball.
Actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
They picked it
Actually.
up so much faster. And one of the fun, one thing that, well, also, Lonzo Ball, had no chance. He had Scotty Royster out
Yeah,
there
also,
helping
can we
him.
address
He was his
that?
first coach.
Whoever's running PLO Social, we have Scotty Royster. Is it Keene or Kane University? What is it? You're in New Jersey.
I don't even know,
Kane.
technically.
Keene or
I
Kane?
say
Keene or Kane, D3 legend, teaching Lonzo Ball. I mean,
No,
can we get-
but also to be fair to Scotty, I mean, he's a Rutgers Club lacrosse legend right now where he's the
He
coach.
is.
Yeah.
Flipped that program around in 1 year. So
He did.
he's
Shout
a-
out.
He might be a better coach than player.
yeah. Chicago's a vibe. Hopefully, you guys will see us there next year doing a live show. I think that would be
That'd be
unreal.
sick if
Street
we could do
lacrosse,
that, yeah.
the show, obviously the games. Hoagie, biggest takeaway from this past weekend?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is that Connor Shellenberger is going to determine if the Atlas play in the championship or not.
Yes.
He's going to be the one who determines if the Atlas are champions of the PLL in 2025 or not. Look, all year, obviously Jeff Teat's that team. You
Yeah.
think of the Atlas, you think of Jeff Teat. Last year blew all the points away, MVP season, right? But there are times where Connor Shellenberger and Jeff Teat will tend to defer each other, and one will fade away in a certain game.
Yep.
I think the proof's in the pudding. When Connor Shellenberger takes initiative, when he is the man in that offense, this team clicks at a different level that we haven't seen maybe in this league offensively. It creates so much more for Xander Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
He's been way more better off ball when Connor Shellenberger initiates and takes charge. And, I think Shellenberger is going to determine how deep this team goes, right? Like, I know you say when they click, but like when you see them, like when they played Philly a couple weeks ago in Homewood, like even this weekend, like that team hums at a different level that I don't think many teams can really hit. And that is all based on Connor Shellenberger's ability to create offense, ability to take initiative, and really be the quarterback one that he is. At UVA, he took control of that offense and that team for his whole time there, right? They won a national championship, made a couple championship weekends. And, look, Connor Shellenberger left UVA, and they still haven't been able to, still to this day, like they had a tough year this year. They haven't been able to recreate that formula yet. But look, he's going to be that guy who needs to step up, and especially Teat this year. He's had a little bit of a slower year. I don't know if that's because of the Achilles injury or what, but when Connor Shellenberger's been the man, when Connor Shellenberger's taken charge, this team reaches a level that I think they're the best team in the PLL when he takes charge and he takes
I think
over.
you look at the Atlas right now. Obviously, you said Teat with the injury. Do we think there's a potential problem long-term with two superstars on one team? These guys don't have egos. I don't think that's the issue. But is there too much star power on that attack line?
No.
Why not?
No, because this is the PLL. You're with two stars on basically every single team. And I know you got Jeff Teat and Connor Shellenberger. We're talking about two, probably arguably like the top 5 offensive players in the league. But there's no problem. Look at them right now. There's no problem. Last year, there was no problem.
Yep.
So I don't know. There wasn't a problem last year, not a problem this year. Why would there be a problem in the future? They both don't have egos. But yeah, I don't think Shelly hasn't played one bad game. He hasn't disappeared at all. His worst game's like 3 points. Like sure, like I know like Kevin's pointed out at the beginning of the year, like he needs to take sometimes more initiative, more shots. But like he's also kind of he was kind of the number 2 last year.
Yep.
Like
he was. I mean, Teat's here crazy.
Right, was crazy. So like he finally kind of is getting that confidence where he's like, oh wow, like I forgot how good I am. I am Connor Shellenberger. I mean, I was on record when he was a freshman. If I had a draft, I would have taken him number 1 overall.
Same.
I mean, Hoagie and I were talking about the draft.
We were taking him 1. I'd take Connor over Brennan Oneill. I said that last year, I think, when we had that debate, and I still stand on that today. I think Connor Shellenberger, his ability to really quarterback and take over an offense, I feel like Brennan has been better when he has not had to be the main guy in the offense. Brennan doesn't want to be the quarterback. He doesn't want to be the star.
Yep.
He's doing better. Look at him this year when he doesn't have to be that main guy. Meanwhile, Shelly, when he's the main guy, when he is the guy who has the keys to your offense, that's when that offense is at its best.
And Kev, I'll let you take on this. Obviously, this is your biggest taker from the weekend, but talk to us about you and Brennan Oneill.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that you segue right into it, Hoagie, because my biggest takeaway is that Brennan Oneill is in the best situation of his entire life. We see he performs best when he's surrounded by stars, whether it was the 2023 World Championship when he was the MVP of Team USA, or just last week when he was the MVP of the All-Star Game. I think we saw some of that carry forward into this weekend in the Outlaws win when all the Torton guys really played. I thought it was the best game across the board from all 4 of them. I think they had 14 total points. They accounted for 11 of the team's 13 scoring points. And Brennan Oneill led the way with 6 points. I don't know if he was the focal point of the offense, but that's the thing about Brennan Oneill in this Denver Outlaws offense. I think he's not going to get overshadowed the better Pat Cavanaugh gets or the more comfortable Jared Bernhardt gets. Brennan O'Neill's only going to be better and come out of his shell more when that spotlight is dispersed across his entire offense. I think Brennan Oneill, when you look at last year with the Outlaws, at times when he had that game where he only had 9 touches, I think against the Archers, or the game or the Atlas, or the entire time at Duke where it was him, go win, go get the ball with the game on the line, score. This is a better situation for Brennan Oneill, and I think no one's even pointing out the fact that he's only shooting 20% or anything else about his game. They're only pointing out the amazing highlights, and that's the best part about Brennan Oneill. So I think he's having his best year so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'd fully agree because I've seen him and Michael Sowers on the same team. Like, you guys played on some stacked teams.
But that team, are you talking about the USA team?
No. I'm saying like...
That's my point.
No, I'm saying like at Duke. Like his Duke
team.
Oh,
at Duke, yeah.
Like, I think that like he played with some stacked rosters.
No,
yeah, but I think in that light, like you're looking at Sowers as the 1 and O'Neill's the 2 on that team.
Yeah.
That's what to Kev's point.
Yes.
But I don't think that like they really. I
Yeah,
think
but
they
I agree with
I
that.
thought they underperformed.
At the end of his career, obviously, when Brennan was older, he was obviously the main guy
the
in that
guy.
team, and he got a lot of criticism for Duke's inability to win big games. Obviously, they made a national championship, but they lost in the quarters in his final year at Duke. So, yeah, the criticism's always been he's that big guy, and we've said he's faded away in big moments because he was like, all right, Duke's like, all right, we're giving you the ball, we're looking to you. This year, he hasn't had to be that guy.
Yeah.
Pat Cavanaugh has been unbelievable what he's done this year, MVP level play. You got Jared Bernhardt, who they picked up after week 1, who's, I wouldn't say he's been on the level of Pat and them yet this year, but he's been very productive for them. And then you had, everyone else. Logan Mcnaney's been great for them in net. The whole team has kind of come together, but it hasn't been like, oh, we need you to step up, Brennan. We need you to do this right now. Pat Cavanaugh leads the league in touches. He's had the most touches of any Outlaws player week after week. Every single week he has had the most touches. So Brennan has not had to have all that pressure and that bullseye on his back like he's had in the future. It allows him to play free. I think he's a guy who's been his whole career. It's always been the spotlight on him. Anytime he plays well, they don't want to give him enough credit. Anytime he plays bad, he's always getting bashed. He hasn't had to deal with that this year, and it's allowed him to play more free. We talk about it all the time, Mitch. When the pressure's not on you feel like the handcuffs are off. That's when you play your best ball.
Definitely. So obviously, Hoagie just said it. Pat would probably be his MVP on Denver. We obviously know where Duke, you lied, probably Pat as well. Kev, who do you think?
I mean, Pat's obviously been the most consistent player, but like for them to really unleash themselves, like I do think it's Brennan. Like he's the kind of the key. Even like last year, I just think that like when he plays freely and he doesn't have like the handcuffs from like the Duke offense, like you saw last night. Like Pat is the MVP. Don't get me wrong, but like the most important player for them to win a championship is gonna be Brennan.
Kev, do you agree with that?
I mean, I'm interested to see where the rankings are in the next segment to tease it a little bit, but I'm Team Logan Mcnaney is the most valuable player on the team. They're 4-0 since he's been put into the lineup. Their defense looks completely different, and he's leading the league in save percentage. So I know Pat's been great. Jared Bernhardt's been getting better. Brennan Oneill is Brennan Oneill, but if you're looking at one player who flipped the script as soon as he came into the game for the Outlaws, it's Logan Mcnaney.
Yeah, that flip has been switched.
So what do you guys think of that? Because you think Pat, you think Oneill.
No, Pat's the MVP, but I just think most important. But with McNaney,
I
think he's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
100%. But you don't think he's the MVP at Denver?
No.
Interesting.
I think it's not causation. I don't think
you don't think so? Because what Kev just said is when he came in, he made an immediate impact.
100%. I also think that it came in at a time where it's like the offense started flowing. It also came in at a time where like Jared Bernhardt got added to like the lineup. So there's a lot more pieces than just Logan Mcnaney came into and is crushing it. Because Logan Mcnaney is playing so well that I never thought he'd be this good as a pro. I always thought he'd be a starter for like 10 years, like be like, one of the better goalies. But like the season that he's having is getting there to like be in the MVP talks. He's definitely getting there. But I still have a couple people above him.
Yeah, I mean, Logan's been unbelievable. I think just like you said, Doogs, I agree with that because you do have to look at it, Mitch. He kind of, once he started that first game, week 3, that was, right when the offense was starting to take place. That's when that was Pat's breakout game against the Water Dogs, too. That's when Pat came to the scene. So that team was completely different. It would beg the question of, like, if Logan was starting week 1, like, how would that have looked the first 2 weeks, right?
Exactly.
Because that team was still a work in progress. Obviously, Logan has been unbelievable. And like Duke said, I've always been a Logan Mcnaney fan through college, Mitch. We talked about on length how good he is.
Yes.
I didn't know that he was going to be this good, and I think he's solidifying himself as maybe a top 3 goalie in the world argument moving forward after this year if he can keep this up. I mean, I don't know. He's 70% this weekend. He's been in the mid-60s all year, which is like absurd to just come out of the season and do that in the pros. So, yeah, look, I think it's got to be Pat, though, the MVP, because Pat stepping up and really exploding has really, to me, been what has had this team grow, right? Like Logan, if he was playing like this, would be awesome. But if Pat didn't explode like he has been, the offense never would have taken off, and I don't think this team would be in the same spot where they are now.
The offense has such a swagger about them.
Such a swagger.
I don't know how to explain it, but like I never would have expected like Brennan and Pat to kind of mesh the way that they're meshing. And it's not even like they're killing people they haven't even unleashed their full potential. And it's not like they're killing it with like ball movement or anything. Like it's not like this.
But again, does it go back to that point where is there too much potential? Like I know we talked
Is
about.
it crazy to think though that
We talked
Jared
about this in
Bernhardt
Duke.
was the one who unlocked this Outlaws team? Like, was he the missing piece there to like not have it just be Pat
Who's more of a
Brennan?
missing
What
piece?
did we talk about week 1 with the Outlaws? Immediately, I was talking about with Pat Cav, with Brennan. It's like, what's wrong with this? It's like the midfield. Now you're getting one of the best college lacrosse players I've ever seen come out of the box, and Jared Bernhardt getting three points every game, like minimum.
Yeah, I'm saying like
No, I'm saying
they
I'm
didn't
agreeing-
know that they were going to have him at the
I'm
beginning
agreeing
of the
with
year.
you. I'm
Yeah,
agreeing
I
with you. You
Yeah.
just got like one of the best players in the world coming out of the box.
Like, how would this team look if Jared wasn't on the team? Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really do not know, because we'd start talking week 1 before Jared was coming. It's like, who are you going to trade? Like, should you trade Wisnauskas to get a midfielder? Because like this is like bad coming out of the box right now.
So it doesn't worry you because again we've chatted about this in the spring a ton with the kind of the Duke route. So much talent but can't get it done. Obviously the Outlaws, a lot of talent but are getting it done. Do you see that being a problem as the season goes on?
No, I don't, because the team's clicked and it's been flawless so far. So
Yeah.
I think usually if you had an issue, it would have already happened, and you kind of have to work through the issue to get where they are. I think they're only going to keep clicking the way that they have been the past couple weeks. It took them 2 weeks maybe to really get comfortable. I think the moment people really started seeing it was when they had that 7-goal run to beat the Archers in Homewood, and then after that it's just been off to the races.
Yep.
But I mean, look, like this team moving forward, I still don't know how they stack up against top teams in the East. And the people are going to say that obviously they've been the best team in the league. They probably are the number 1 team for a lot of teams. But if you look at their last 3 games on their win streak, their wins are against the Whipsnakes. Their wins are against, I believe, the Redwoods. And then was it the Chaos? Their last 3 wins were against bottom tier teams in the league. And they have the Water Dogs win, which was awesome. But that was really the start of this whole thing. So I want to see this happen, week after week against some of the more top teams in the league, because I still don't know where they stack up. I think, last week of the year, they play a home game in Denver against the Atlas.
Yeah,
that's going to be a crazy
It's
game.
going to be tough.
There was when we talk about also in this league, like there's only 2 practices really a week, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you
If that.
have 1 week of training camp.
Yeah.
You don't really mesh with these guys. So when the Outlaws, it's like, let them get settled.
Get going.
Yeah, it's not going to take 1 week of practice, getting together. It goes back to the Archers, which I wanted to kind of get this point in.
Yeah.
They're injured. Trey LeClaire was out I don't even know if he went to training camp.
He didn't.
Right.
He wasn't
Matt
actually.
Moore out of the offense. This offense has not had any time to gel.
Talk about Sis, which
Right.
Kev just said too.
Exactly. So it's like anytime you're inserting guys coming in, you're in and out, changing up the rosters.
Chemistry.
Sam King going down to attack, who played awesome, great move there. But it's like these injuries really kill, because then you can't fix it in one practice for a game, and every game matters. So it's when you're talking about did I expect earlier on in the episode the Archers to be where they are? I would have been like, who got injured?
Yeah,
It's really-
that would definitely be it.
Right. So it just injuries can really bite you.
Good
But,
news for the Archers. They're in the Western Conference. So
Yeah.
Right.
No,
100%.
they're
seriously.
not out of the thick of this. I'm telling you, they get healthy and they start playing well. I'll tell you what, them in the semifinal versus the Outlaws don't want to see Utah. They're going to hope Utah either misses it or just doesn't get healthy, and they get to play Carolina in the semis.
And also they've
you
been
take a team
back-to-back.
with championship pedigree like that, it's kind of like the
Those are
Chiefs.
vets.
Like even a couple years ago, it's like the Chiefs didn't even have a great year. Was it 2 years ago? They were a wild card team. They had to go at Baltimore and at Buffalo just to make the Super Bowl. Won both and made the Super Bowl. Won the Super Bowl. It's like,
100%.
and that wasn't even one of the best Chiefs teams of the Patrick Mahomes era. It's like you don't want the champs and you don't want the team with the experience.
honestly, I hate
there.
to say it, but it kind of, to Duke's point, he brought this up. Ohio State, Notre Dame in the playoff game.
It's the same kind of thing,
Same
just
situation.
like that. Ohio State, awesome all year. Notre Dame has been there before, done that. They're comfortable. The lights aren't going to be too bright. And again, on the other side, if you're the Archers, you're like, we got nothing to lose. We're just showing up in this game. The Outlaws have been the team all year that everyone's saying it's the number 1 team. The Outlaws are the team that are supposed to be the
And
championship.
that pressure's rising on them.
That pressure rises.
I think
That
they're built
game
for it.
too.
You think they are?
They're built for it. Look at the guys in that roster.
Semifinals are at Subaru Park in Philly, where they won their 2 championships too for the Archers. So familiar field there. They're gonna feel it.
Yeah,
they're gonna
it'll
show
be
up on that
interesting.
field like we won our last 2 championships here. One game, we're back in the championship. Like
And just like
give it
that.
to me. Roll the ball out. Let's
We'll be
play.
there in Philly. Live show, Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Show. Dukes, a lot of MVP talk. Let's actually get into who should the MVP should have been.
Frick yeah. All right, let me pull up my list, please.
So Doogs, the classic video, Corey, pop it up on the channel right now. Just an outstanding. This is going to go down in like social media lacrosse history.
All right, we're asking people who the MVP should have been. Who should the MVP should have been? All right, we're asking people who the MVP should have been. Who should the MVP should have been?
It is.
Yeah, right next to the live show at Subaru Park. Right, those are the 2 biggest things. But who should the MVP should have been rankings? All right, you want me to say last week's?
Yes.
Last week's I had Sowers.
Yep.
Malone.
Yep.
Cav.
Yep.
Shelley. Liam and Timon. This week, drum roll, please. All right, no more. Number 5. Welcome to the list, 𝐓𝐇𝐄.
Wow.
Teeter.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Number 2,
It's older.
Connor Shellenberger.
Shelly up. to
Shelly,
2.
I like that.
What a
That's
week.
good play.
He really solidified
That's a
himself as
good
the top
play.
dog. Number 1, Michael Sowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reigning dog. He hasn't been on this list without being number 1.
Yep.
Number 3, Patty Calf.
Hold on. Sorry.
Number 3.
Hold on 1 sec. Yeah, there we go.
Number 3,
Yep.
Patty Calf.
Yep.
Okay. I like that.
Yep.
Number 4,
And this is a new guy? I feel like it's a new guy.
it's a goalie.
Okay.
Kai the goalie?
He's
Shout out Kai the goalie, the legend.
He's a goalie.
Yep.
He's been having a phenomenal season. Some are like trying to get him back into the top 3
Yep.
in the world conversation. It's Blaze Reardon.
Yeah.
How can you, after this week, look at what the Chaos are doing, winning games, being in the position that we're talking about, 5th in the league,
Yep.
and not have Blaze Reardon as the MVP?
Yeah.
They have no offense without him.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how great McNaney is, and he's slowly getting there for me because the numbers will not lie. But I truly do not know what the Chaos would look like without Blaze and Cage.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be bad.
Right.
Just put it
Like
frank
Entman,
like that.
Entman didn't do anything to lose the lust. It's
Yes.
just like he also is now falling in the victim of being like, you have 𝐓𝐇𝐄 and Connor Shellenberger on your
Yeah.
team. He's having like 15 saves a game as well. He gets shelled, steps up. But I think when you talk about most valuable player right now, and if the Chaos do make a playoff push,
Yep.
it's going to be because of one man. It's Blaze Reardon.
Kev,
Interesting.
thoughts on that list? You add anyone, take anyone out?
I'm curious why. I mean, Entman was my pick before the season for MVP, and I've always felt like it's been an endorsement that Doogs has kept him in the top 5. And I was shocked to see Entman drop out of the top 5 and 𝐓𝐇𝐄 go in. I guess I'm just curious what 𝐓𝐇𝐄 did this week to displace Entman.
So I do think that when it's all said and done, it's going to be someone on the Atlas is going to be in the top 3. It's going to be Shelly or 𝐇𝐄. I don't know what that's going to look like.
You don't think Entman?
I just think offensively, the offense is clicking at such a rate
Such
right
a
now.
rate.
Right, I felt like I needed to put 𝐇𝐄 in because
Yep.
this was also 𝐇𝐄. I feel like either popped off or didn't show. We're he had 5 points I think this weekend.
Yep.
Am I completely wrong?
No, I think
No,
7.
no,
5
you're right.
goals. What was it?
You're right. I think I had 1 goal and 4 assists.
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't know. I just think that when you just got him and Shelly, I'm just all right. One of them will probably
Yeah.
be the offense for NT again. Like I said, he didn't do anything wrong. It's again just the offense kind of stepping up. And when you're watching a game like that and you see the offense put up 17, you do get a little swindled.
Yeah.
When you see against the Cannons, they were shelling them. That game we got boring.
Just like you said, Dukes, too, it's to me, it's hard to have 2 goalies in the top 5 of the MVP
Right.
race. And it's for as good as Liam is, it's if there's going to be one goalie who should be in the MVP conversation, how is it not Blaze Reardon?
Well, that's also what I'm
And
saying.
so it's not even a knock of taking Entman out.
wait.
It's Blaze has been just so good. How do
What's
you
the
not?
desensitizing LeBron thing we were talking about last episode?
Yes, and this is
it's the standard.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying this, Liam's a victim of playing with a really good offense. Blaze is now being propped up because I'm his offense isn't that good. They're winning these games
Yeah,
because of the
it's 'cause of
defense,
him.
because of the goaltending. I'm not. If Liam was on the Chaos, I think he could do this too. And I'd probably say Liam too. Instead.
Yeah, but also too, kind of like that. Blaze is helping the Chaos, right? If they don't have people are saying, oh well, if Blaze wasn't on the Chaos, would it be a disaster? Or they have 1 win right now,
Yeah.
whatever. But at the same breath, no one's talking about how really good Liam Entman's been this season because the offense has been so great. So when they win games, it's oh, they're winning the games because the offense is so
Right.
great. There are question marks about this New York Atlas defense. I'll tell you that right now. Entman bails them out so many times week after week. Quint mentioned on the broadcast, he was people don't even talk about how many times Enty bails them out of plays. And they need to get this defense fired up because no one's going to talk about it when the offense is humming, when Enty has a ton of saves. It looks like everything is going great, but what happens when the offense doesn't maybe have their best day or, the other team plays well against them, right? And the defense has had lapses all year, but it's kind of right now one of those things where it's there's a Band-Aid on it, and it's at some point, is it going to come off? That's a big thing. Entman has been so amazing for them on the back end.
You're saying that the defense isn't playing that well, and that Liam Entman bails them
Uh-oh,
out.
fact check.
I wish that somebody talked about that week 1, but the 9-year-olds think I don't know ball.
What'd you say?
I called out the Atlas defense right away. I was like,
Yeah.
the Atlas defense took a huge step back this year.
They did.
They got a bunch of names. They spent a lot of draft capital on these guys. They got to step up, because they're all. We know, like last year, they kind of formed into this like great unit. I thought they've taken this major step back. But also, if you're going to talk about defense, Michael Grace played awesome.
He's been great.
Yeah, he's been great.
Having Danny Logan in the lineup's been awesome. I mean, the Atlas are undefeated when Danny Logan plays.
Yep.
So their only 2 losses are when he was out with injury. I mean, Paul mentioned on the broadcast, during All-Star Weekend, he was like, if the Atlas win a championship, there's an argument that Danny Logan not only is the most valuable player on the Atlas, but might be one of the best players in the world for how good of a player he is. I mean, he's surely the best defensive midi in the world. Obviously, I played at Ohio State. I think Ryan Terefenko's kind of right up there too as a stud. I think the
What do you see how to say?
Well, I know, just like Danny Logan, like Columbus' finest. Like,
he
he
loves his point.
Kevin, I have a
loves
question
his
for you, Kev. How many national championships would Ohio State have won if they had Ryan Terefenko and homegrown talent?
That would
Danny
be crazy
Logan?
if we had Danny Logan and Terry on our team.
One of them would have been
Countless.
offensive midi.
You think?
Yes.
Terry.
Dude, I don't think you need 2
No,
studs of that caliber.
Terry would have been a D midi.
Terry, let's not forget, our freshman year was on Man Up.
Yeah, he was. Terry was on Man Up our freshman year. He
Dude,
was.
He's got a hammer.
He does.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
He's got a motor I've never seen in this league.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, we'd be,
Chill.
No, we'd be on like our 20th sprint. Me and Mitch would have our hands on our knees. We'd have like our boys.
Yeah,
Our boy Zoop would be in the trash can throwing up, and then
Yeah.
Terry would be like it was his first rep of the day. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But obviously, as the season goes on, we'll find out. Doogs, who should the MVP should have been?
Oh, you got it. Keep that in.
It happens to everyone. We might need to get a remake when we're on site for semifinals and championship.
I don't think you could remake that. I think
Sowers is winning this
I think
MVP.
God
by
bless
the
him
way.
with a 95-degree heat day with like
A couple
15
light beers.
15 light beers.
Couple light beers.
Couple light beers. I like that. All right, well, let's move into a new segment. We're going to do Mount Rushmore Snake Draft. Doogs, do you want to explain to the fans what exactly the Snake Draft is?
Dude, I couldn't even begin to tell you.
So the Snake Draft is Kevin, beautiful guy, co-host on our team. He has all these names drafted up, and we're going to essentially pick in different rounds from 1, 2, and 3. Each of us have to pick a name, but when we pick that name, it gets crossed off the list. Kev, any more explanations?
Yeah, just real quick. The big reason why we're doing this week is because it was Hall of Fame weekend. We had 4 GOATs go into the Hall of Fame. Paul Rabel, Kyle Harrison, Joe Walters, and Kevin Lavelle. Dudes, did you get an up-close look at those jackets? How'd they look?
Swaggy.
They look so sick.
Okay, I gotta put my hand up really quick.
What do you got? You're not a fan?
No. Just in person, didn't really miss a minute of Chicago. My
We
phone
know.
was dying. I door dashed a phone charger. I missed the ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
We have a crew member,
Dude.
boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Guy can't even get.
I can't even charge it.
Sickening.
Hey,
A couple light beers.
How do you wait? Did you
A
not
lot
charge
of
your phone?
What?
How was it dead?
You would not believe. I got.
Was it a late night?
Late
Late night. Forgot to charge it.
I had a portable charger too, and I left it in the hotel room. That was my
Gosh,
pocket.
you think you're a media member. You does stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, like a lot of media members.
Get the
lie.
mannequin. Get the mannequin.
Media members lie. I don't.
True. He could have been like, oh, they were great in person.
Yeah,
while he's door dashing a charger.
I like that. Hand up accountability. Point the thumb. I like that. All right, keep going though. You like the jackets? We didn't see them. I love the jackets. When do you think we can get our own?
When do you think we can get some MPLS jackets like the shirts you printed?
Right here,
Do
with
like-
the patch.
Yo, you could get inducted for like a lacrosse lifer, like one of those like memorial awards.
Who on this?
Mitch is gonna get inducted as a media member to the PLL Hall of Fame. You know they like.
It's gonna be like RJ, then Mitch.
Well, it's like
Pehlke.
when they have like.
I'm a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
2-time All-Star.
How'd the jersey fit? Do we have a picture up close?
It's fine. We'll
Hope we can make.
Pop up a picture right now.
Corey, he'll try one on when he gets home
Yeah,
and send
yeah,
you a photo.
yeah. All right, snake draft. Kev, you lead us off.
All right, with the first pick in the first ever Mount Rushmore Snake Draft in Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Show history, Kev takes Paul Rabel, all-time points
That was my
leader,
point.
657, great all-around midfielder. How can you go wrong with that pick? The entire reason we're all here together doing this podcast.
100%. Dr. Dugan,
Yeah,
who do you got?
I really want to take some guy that got inducted this weekend. 'Cause he's my favorite player growing up. But I respect the 80s too much. I respect
Oh no,
the men up north too much.
really?
Mr. Gate. Mr.
Wow.
Gary Gate.
Wow, I didn't think you would do it.
Took Mr. Gate. All right, so am I up now?
Yeah.
All right, so for my pick, I'm going to take a
I know
guy.
who you're picking.
Who?
I already know.
I'm taking Lyle Thompson.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lyle Thompson for me was like when we were growing up, like that was the guy that everyone wanted to watch, everyone loved. So, I mean, to me, Lyle is one of the best players of all time. I mean, I feel like obviously he hasn't played in the pros in years, and I feel like no one really knows if he's probably never returning, and no one knows really what he's up to these days. But I mean, his college days and even at the beginning, I mean, that guy was all worldly. So I'm taking Lyle.
All right. I'm going 4 and 5, so I got back-to-back picks. I'm going with the guy that started it all at the brand STX, the 𝐂18 collection. Left to right jump shot, bing bong, right there. Kyle Harrison.
He used the crankshaft, so you got to get
the
him on.
crankshaft, the crank frog. He's got it all. And I'm going back-to-back here.
I would do anything for a crankshaft.
Yeah.
Can you hook me up with one?
I can talk to some people. My 5th pick, I'm going a little oddball. I'm going just a 5'5" Italian from Huntington, Mark Millen, baby. Putting him at 5.
He's always doing the connection.
The legend,
He's always
baby.
doing the connection.
Pop up the picture, one of the most passionate guys in the lacrosse community. What do you got to say about that, V?
I respect it, honestly.
Do you?
I respect people who love
One-on-one
lacrosse.
fight, Mark Millen, James Hogan. Who's winning, Doogs?
Me.
All right, who we got for 6? Hoagie.
Also, Hoagie, you got that.
Who do I want to take?
Hoagie against Millen?
Yeah, who you picking?
Are we talking after Virginia lost? I'll take Millen.
Who you got, Hoagie?
You know what? I'm gonna take. The guy I'm gonna take RB Ryan Boyle. Guy.
Yeah.
Obviously was the all-time assist leader in pro lacrosse before Pennell broke his record a couple weeks back. But voice of the PLL. Love listening to him cover games each week. I'll take Ryan Boyle.
He looks great. Kev?
Am I up? I'm up.
It's Doogs.
Or Doogs, yep.
I can't believe he fell to me. Tom Sharber, no-brainer. He's the best midfielder of all time. Period.
End of story.
Really?
Yeah, period.
Who's your best player of all time?
Dude, it might be Sharber.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Kev, you're up with 8.
Honestly, can't believe he's still on the board. I'm going John Grant Jr., all-time leader in goals, 393. No one even really close. So now I've got Paul Rabel as my number 1 midfielder, John Grant Jr. as my finisher at attack. Feeling pretty good about my Mount Rushmore so far. I'm kicking your butts.
Well, you're going back-to-back. You got 8 with John Grant Jr. Who's number 9?
All right, back-to-back picks here. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to get Brody Merrill, best long stick midfielder of all time, Georgetown legend, played for a million years. I think he has the most games played, only player in pro lacrosse history, field lacrosse history with 200 games played. I think he was like 1 off the ground ball record away from Grenlian when he retired. Brody Merrill, all-time legend.
And we were missing three positions on here?
Can I go now?
Yeah, you're up, dude.
Can I win this already? All right,
Yeah.
Trevor Baptiste.
Yep, that was going to be mine. Okay.
Yeah, Trevor Baptiste.
Interesting.
That's fine. I'll take the best goalie of all time, Blaze Reardon.
Damn, that was going to be mine. All right. I'm going with an oddball here. Maybe the fans might not know this cat.
I hope someone's so straightforward. Michael Sowers.
This guy, if I ever had to hire security in my life, I'd hire this guy. I would hire this guy. Brian Spallina.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
A mystical find by the Pelkinator.
Oh
I mean,
my
back in the day,
God.
the black Nike high socks
Him
with
and
the hair.
Polanco on that defense
Oh, my
for the
God.
Lizards.
See you later.
I one time got into a summer lacrosse fight with him.
With him?
Dude, not with him. Like our coaching staff against his. I never forget. I was like in 5th grade. Team 91.
Oh, well, that same thing happened with Mark Millen and those guys.
And I remember being like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend. But I would say, so I'm going back-to-back. I got Brian Spallina and pick number 13 for Pehlke.
Can't wait to win this thing.
I got to put a guy I looked up to, Robbie Pennell. I got to put him up
Great.
there. I got to put
I
him
like
up
that
there.
pick.
that's great.
I got to put him up there. A guy that's, had a relationship with on and off the camera, looked up to him a ton on the field. It's a no-brainer for me. Pick number 14, Hogan.
All right, this is my last pick. So I got to see where I want to go here. Do I want to go with like some nostalgia, like a guy that you liked growing up, or like do I want to just go with like
Give me a mystical Spallina-like pick.
yeah, see, like I was gonna be like, all right, I'll just take Casey Powell, but no, that's just
Yeah,
like
that's
too like
too basic.
legendary player. You want to talk about throwback weekend?
Who?
You want to talk about
Who you
those
got?
Outlaws jerseys? Brendan Mundorf, baby,
Ooh,
Outlaws
grit.
legend back in the
Grit.
day, dude. Oh my God, he was a stud growing up. I loved watching him play, and seeing those jerseys this weekend reminded me of Brendan Mundorf, Lee Zink. even Eric Law back in the day, all those legendary Outlaws back in the day. Jesse Schwartzman and goalie. Anthony Kelly on the X. I mean, come on. I can't wait. I want to see those jerseys like that more in the future. Like, I love the throwback jerseys, but more specifically, like, paying homage to those Major League Lacrosse teams.
We got to get some throwback jerseys in here.
Yeah, we do. Those are sick.
I like those. All right, pick number 15, Doogs.
Can I ask if I can do this? Can I take him? Can I take Mikey Powell?
I mean, yeah, you can.
But he only played like 3 years. Kev, what do we think?
You can take Mikey Powell, but we're going off. This is a pro lacrosse.
I don't know. I don't think you can.
Clear.
He's got the name, but it wasn't built in pro.
All right, fine. I'll accept this, but TLN can never do the skills challenge Mikey Powell tweet ever again. If we can sign off on that.
Okay.
No, okay.
He goes fine.
I mean, going pro, I definitely reached on the Lyle because he was more of like a college lore.
I'll take Michael Earhart.
That's a great one.
That's
Best
a great
LSM
one.
of all time. Yeah.
I love that.
I know he said Brody, which I will not ever debate that. But in the years that I really got to see between Brody and Mike, I mean, Earhart, I watched it. Chaminade, Maryland,
the whole thing.
Athletic specimen. Yeah. I think kind of changed the game in a way on how he played transition ball with the LSM.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And last pick, number 16, Virtual Kev. What do we got?
This is tough. I really am down between two players, a legend and a current player. The legend is Casey Powell. He was my favorite player growing up, but honestly, I think I got to give it to Brennan Oneill, number 16.
Wow.
Get some young blood in there. Wow. And I'm feeling pretty good about my 4. Paul Rabel, John Grant Jr., Brody Merrill, and Brennan Oneill. Yeah, come see me. Come see my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, I like that. Who do you think had the best Mount Rushmore?
I think I did. I have the best.
You think it's better than Mark Millen and Brian Spallina?
I think you have the worst. I think you just were like, who shot videos with me at the high school field?
I mean, Mitch goes, all right, with my first 2 picks, I'm going to go with Kyle Harrison because of my STX sponsorship.
No, he's a legend.
And then,
he's a legend.
And then with my second pick, I'm going to go with Mark Millen because I want another Team 91 Fire doc. So
it's just critical you just said that.
I met
Kyle
the
Harrison,
STX
I know you're watching.
I met the STX crew out in Chicago.
How
I was
great
like,
were they?
let me know.
No, Kyle 100%. I was going to take Kyle if you
guys.
didn't take him.
Yeah.
It was more just like funny that like your first picks, like when I think of STX sponsorships, if I'm throwing Mitchell Pehlke to the side, first
K-18.
2 guy K18, right? Like
K18.
Let's get the crankshaft Mitchell Pehlke style. You got that?
We're going to get a frog line going soon. Stay tuned.
Are you actually? A Scandium shaft or just frog?
Hey, don't get the STX
don't be
Sam
lying
back.
to the kids now.
The STX Sam back in action, baby. All right, we have some breaking news, actually.
Really?
Next week is week 8 of the PLL season. Fairfield, Connecticut. Indigenous Heritage Weekend.
Oh.
Mitch Pehlke, James Hogan, and Kevin McDougal, a.k.a. Doogs, will all be on site in Connecticut. Just cemented.
We will be live at Fairfield.
We just made this plan 30 minutes ago. So bring your Sharpies, bring your camera. Kevin will be signing everything and anything. And if you guys want to show, comment below because we got to talk to RJ, got to talk to Paul. We might be able to make it
But we'll
happen.
be boots on the ground. Hopefully we can have a show or some type of pod or something going. But
something going. A big weekend, though. Big weekend.
Massive
obviously,
weekend.
Another weekend where there's no home teams. But Friday, we have Atlas versus Redwoods and then Archers versus Chaos. Obviously, the 6:30, the 9. Biggest takeaway from day one of Connecticut.
All right. I mean, if we're just going through the weekend, Fairfield, I mean, I've never been. I'm so excited to get to Fairfield. It's going to be my first time being there. I've heard, obviously, Chicago was great this weekend, but I think if you asked a lot of people before this weekend in Chicago, they'd say the best atmosphere is either Fairfield or Utah. One of those two, and a lot of people say Fairfield just packs it out. So I'm super excited to be there and see it for myself in person. Friday night's games. I mean, the first game, the Atlas are going to look to stay hot. The Redwoods have lost 4 straight after people thought they were championship contenders. Is it going to be 5 and the wheels keep falling off? Or are they going to, classic PLL style, watch the Redwoods will go beat the Atlas and then we have conversations again. So that's kind of how I feel about that game. And the second game to me is huge. It's Chaos versus Archers. Archers need to win bad. The Chaos are at 3-3. That is really going to – the Archers can win that. That's really going to tilt the Western Conference. I think you'll feel better about where Utah is moving forward. Those 2 games. But, let's not sugarcoat it. The game of the weekend, 3 p.m. on ABC, Outlaws, Cannons, Pat Cavanaugh versus a team that traded him last year. Number 1 team in the league, the Outlaws, against the Cannons, who – people thought was the most consistent team, maybe the best team at the beginning of the year. They've lost 2 straight games.
Yes.
They need to win. They need to win bad. this game is going to
on
be cinema,
ABC
popcorn,
as well.
everything. Yeah.
Cinema, popcorn, cookie dough balls. That's what I get when I watch movies. But has Pat Cavanaugh had this circled on his calendar since the trade?
100%.
100%.
Yes.
What's going through his head?
Revenge.
Revenge.
I mean, I think that some people play better when they're like fueled by like
He's one of those guys.
hate or like not even hate, just like doubt in a way. And I'm not
Yes.
saying the Cannons fully doubted him, but they clearly chose Asher over him.
Yep.
And again, we've talked about this before. It's not like I think Holman made the wrong decision, quote unquote, like in the time being. But Pat definitely has a little chip on his shoulder for that.
Yeah.
He's a
100%.
national championship. He's a tour-time winner. Why wouldn't he feel that like, why don't you want me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and even to a guy that has those accolades, then gets to the PLL and wants to continue to kill it, and then maybe has a setback, right? Like he's probably never had that feeling where someone's picked somebody else than himself. So I see him firing. And we know the Cavs, that's their game style. They want to come out firing. They want people to doubt them, and they want to show people who they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, too, because I think Kurst is on kind of – he played pretty bad. I think just the Cannons in general kind of played bad. It was almost like a wash in a sense when I was watching it. Kurst is due for a bounce-back game.
Yeah.
I've never really seen him play 2 bad games in a row. So it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a must-watch 2 game for the Cannons, too. Like, obviously, the loss to the Atlas last week, like, dumped their chances of getting the 1 seed low. I think it's like 11% now to get the 1 seed. But, they lose this one. They're probably sitting at 3 at best. But, you never know what Stags and the Whips pull out of there, at the end of the year. Like,
you never know.
fall under 500 now. I mean, the Cannons are 3-3 right now. They lose this weekend, they're 3-4. And before you know it, it's like, could they potentially miss the playoffs themselves? So they know what's at stake. They know how big of a game this is. Not to tip my pat, but I think I'm taking the Cannons in this game. I think the Cannons are going to bounce back, and I think eventually this kind of hot streak of the Outlaws has got to come to an end at some point. But
it'll be interesting.
It's going to be an awesome game.
Picks will be announced later this week. Stay tuned. Follow lacrosse.show on Instagram. Kev, biggest takeaway heading into Week 8?
I'm right there with you on the Cannons Outlaws thing. I think this is going to be the first game where we're really, really under the microscope looking at Asher Nolting's performance and Pat Cavanaugh's performance. And I think every game from this game on is going to be compared through that prism of like, who is the better player moving forward? I understand the Cannons had a window. They want to win now. They didn't want to mess anything up. Pat Cavanaugh wasn't working. They shipped him off. I don't know what the better move would have been. Would it have been to stick with Pat Cavanaugh and have them both on the line and try to figure it out? Oh, Asher isn't working. Let's mix in Pat Cavanaugh. But then guess what? You don't have Owen Grant, who's been one of their really only hopes in the middle of the field this year. So there's a give and a take with everything, but this week in particular, Asher Nolting needs to blow up. He's only got 4 goals this year. Yeah, if you want to be an MVP, if you want to be in the conversation that Pat Cavanaugh's in right now, MVP, you got to find ways to put the ball in the back of the net. He's a little too one-dimensional. He's getting too close to being the right-handed Matt Rambo in a sense. I think that he's got to find some speed in his game. He's got to find a way to dodge, not just draw a slide and feed sometimes. He's got to put the ball in the back of the net. He's got to score.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, I think to a sense, you can see it last year. It didn't really get caught on until maybe the end. And I think we've said this with the Chaos, kind of have the Cannons number defensively. Asher looks to feed first. And he looks to draw that second slide. He kind of likes to back guys down, look for the cutters. And it is becoming a little bit predictable. And, I completely agree with what Kev said. This game, and I'll never take one game away from it, be like, that's my opinion from then on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're taking the whole season into account.
But he is right. I mean, that will be a talking point for everybody else or
100%.
a lot of people. They'll look at this game as.
I mean, how many times do you think Quint and those boys are going to bring it up?
Oh,
Yeah, a ton.
And-
Oh, do you have a point here?
yeah,
Okay.
Quint. I got a.
Quint's an OG. Be careful.
No,
He's a
Quint-
legend.
Is he coming at Quint?
Yeah, we could have him on the podcast, but I'd like to say something to him. I did not like what he said on the broadcast. I don't know if he meant it like this. Kev, did you catch this by any chance? When he was talking about the Outlaws, he goes, you got 2 superstars in Jared Bernhardt and Brennan Oneill, like top dogs. And he's like, then you got Pat Cav and Logan Mcnaney just to fill in the holes. To say that Pat Cav has just been filling in the holes this year for the Outlaws.
He's ignited the run.
Right.
Yes.
And it was almost like Brennan had to start filling in his holes.
Yes.
Pause.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
We had this episode.
Simple.
Did you hear that, Kev?
Quint was a little crazy with some of his calls this week. That wasn't the only one. I don't know if you saw when he had Connor Shellenberger in the breakdown booth, and you're talking about dodging on Marcus Holman, and he's like, "Oh, you were supposed to be salivating about this matchup," and Connor's like, "I wouldn't go that far." We're talking about a legend,
let's be real.
500-point club.
Simple as that. The Outlaws are not where they are right now without Pat Cavanaugh
100%.
playing this way.
Yep.
He has been the difference in them. Where they are, number one team in the league, they're not here without
Just
Pat.
saying Pat Cav is like filling in the holes this year.
Yeah, it's
He's
crazy.
an MVP candidate.
It's crazy.
After
Torres
All-Star
winner, yeah.
after
Yeah.
All-Star break, he's
It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes I think, though, those guys talk so much lax that it just all bunches
Yeah,
up.
it bunches up.
Yeah, and I think that they do get a little bit, and this is why I kind of like Brian, like RB.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do college. He's just focused on the pros.
Yep.
So he doesn't really carry over bias from like college into the professionals. Like
Yep.
he kind of can separate it.
Yep.
So I think that's maybe one critique that I'd have.
Yeah. Quint's obviously a legend. But now, we got a big interview. A little surprise for you guys. Let's hop into it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now we welcome just a kid from Virginia, Jack Rowlett. Clap him in, baby. First time on the show?
I was in a live show with you
On site.
at Harvard.
Just me and you and the Fan Fest getting it going.
We
It was
did,
your
yeah.
only week off that week, and that's where you live. You gotta love
Yeah,
it.
correct. Yes, nice to play at home this year. That'll be nice.
100%. Well, Jack, a pleasure having you. Let's just dive right into the meat and potatoes. I'll be the first one to say on our show, my show, none of us picked the Chaos this weekend.
Okay.
And I got to say it. I got to point the thumb. You obviously, you made us look bad. You obviously came back with the win. But talk to us about the win over the Redwoods.
Yeah, I think we started the year as the team that nobody really knew what we would be. I think we're starting to turn into the team that not many people want to play. We're super young offensively. Obviously, those guys though are starting to obviously click together, right? Like, however, Coach Colsey and Coach McCready's have been running that side of the ball. Like, I think it's very apparent. Like with that, the goal where Jackson Eicher falls over and we bang the ball 4 times and score. Like those guys have chemistry now. I think 6 weeks in, you can say like they're finally clean. They have chemistry. They feel good about it. So it's really exciting to watch, right? And then on the defensive end, we kept some of the same pieces. We have some new guys now. I think the kid Scott Smith has played a couple games for us. I think he's been a great new addition. And D-Middies are, again, finally having played with them for 5 games. I think we're just a group where we needed to kind of feel it out a little bit. And it seems like we're starting to at least learn who we are better than we did.
100%. I feel like with the Chaos, you guys thrive in this notion of everyone's counting you out. Everyone's not picking you guys. But you guys are just kind of like the ticks that are just always there. You're never going to kill the chaos.
It seems like we've been the team that no one knows about for 6 years now.
Yeah,
We've just forever, since the league started, we're just the team that nobody really has a good read on. And being one of the guys that's been here for all 7 years, it's kind of funny. We joke about it. We think we lead the league in the most amount of different guys that have come in and out of our lineup for 1 year. Sometimes we play the game of can you name who is at training camp at IMG year 1? We had a crazy group of people come through this squad, but it's been fun.
Take us inside the locker room. What are those conversations like? Knowing that guys aren't going to pick you, but you guys know chaos ball.
Yeah, I mean the core knit group of myself, Troy, Jared, Blaze, Glacini, Cal, the D guys that have really, been there the longest. We understand how it is. We understand what people look at. We don't have a lot of sexy names on our roster. We have guys that obviously other teams cut. We I think set a record for picking up the most training camp guys, they were cut, and then all of a sudden 3 hours later they were at practice with us. But those guys are playing well. Cross Ferrara scores every time he plays. It's it's nice to have pieces like that. And again, I think it's just fun to kind of see that this league is awesome for that fact that there are a lot of good lacrosse players. And if we're going to be the group that has a bunch of cats coming in and out, then that's fine. And we'll hold down our side of the ball until that side figures it out.
Definitely. Obviously, with the new head coach this year, Roy, and GM Spencer Ford, what's been the biggest difference this year compared to obviously years in the past with Towers?
I think every head coach brings something different, right? I will say something about Coach Colsey and Coach McCready and Coach Sweeney. They are guys that are constantly still teaching us the game, right? We have 2 Hall of Famers. Coach McCready's pro guy himself, right? So, it's It's not something where we show up and they kind of just put us in a set and they let us play freely. Like, we're going over clearing and riding better because, we were the worst clearing team in the league the first 4 weeks, right? Like, we're just taking, a more maybe holistic approach, and like we're being taught as players, right? Like, it's cool for me to be coached by Kyle Sweeney, who's a Hall of Famer. It's like nice to be, in those conversations with him and do stuff like that. And, I know the O guys can say the same about Colsey and McCready's. I think just hearing from new people, like new voices, like, again, you're just learning different things, with any new head coach or whatever.
Do you notice any differences or advantages to having a GM on your team? Obviously, you played with having a GM and not. Do you see any differences or advantages?
I think it's definitely good just to get like another set of eyes, another voice, kind of like I was just talking about, like just having multiple people who look at the game a different way. I never think hurts, right? So, obviously Spencer's been in pro lacrosse for a long time. I know this is his first year in the PLL, but he's been around for a long time. He knows how the pro game works, right? So I think he was a big addition just, as our staff was a little new to the professional game itself as coaches. Spencer had been a GM in the pro game for a while, so I think he just kind of helped that cohesion at the beginning and just kind of helping everybody be on the same page.
Definitely. Do you think that's going to be a standard here soon? We talk about it on the show a ton. I think in 3 years, at least every team is going to have a GM. Do you think that's just the way pro lacrosse is going?
I don't think it hurts at all. I do think it helps. I think there are some head coaches that don't probably want to give up that right yet. I won't guess who that is, but like, I do think it is better for pro lacrosse to have GMs, right? Because again, it's a role that in theory is dedicated to just looking at how do I build the best team, right? And obviously the head coach should have say in that, and I know our head coach does, right? But they're not looking at it as a game by game basis, player by player basis. Like, they're trying to build a culture, a program for like the longevity of the chaos, not just like how do we win in 2025, but could we sign some young pieces that in 2 years could be awesome? Like, we have Jack Posey, obviously, Levi Virch now, Scott Smith, just on the defensive end, but like we're building kind of more depth for, longer years for guys to play for us.
Definitely. You've obviously seen on social, there's a little wager out there between myself and Jared Newman. For
Okay.
Uptick the fans, Jared Newman has to hit over 100 with his left hand versus me with my right hand over 100. Who do you think's winning this wager? And on the line is $500 to one of our charities.
I love Newman. I don't think he has a left hand in him.
Thank you. That's what I think too.
I think he'll tell you the truth, honestly, when it gets to that point. Now, that's not to say if he gets a good one and he connects on the net, I think he has the potential to hit 100 miles an hour. I think it's going to be a little bit hit or miss where that ball's going, but he is physically strong enough to put the ball that fast. I've never seen him pass in line drills left-handed. So
okay, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's different if you're an offensive guy using the offhand. A defensive guy using his offhand that doesn't really shoot that much. Like, again, I'm taking my odds here. We filmed a ton. You've seen me shoot. Do you think I can break 100?
Is this something you're going to work towards, or is this like
this is something I'm training for? I'm training for. I'm getting a whole new stick.
If you tell me that you're actually going to like do something for it, I think you can. Yes.
Okay, so you're on Team Pehlke.
If this was a show up and just like you're not doing anything between now and then,
no, I'll be training. Yeah. I'll be getting the back loose. I'll be getting a whole new stick. I got to talk to Nick Deagle and see how he really does it.
Yeah, you got to string something up. I think if you put some work into it, you have a chance. If you use the gun the PLL was using at the All-Star game, you might hit 110.
That's okay. I knew something was off. I know. I feel that. So, but Kev, I want to flick it to you. Talk about obviously the chaos guys and what Jack just said with kind of the no-name guys on offense.
Yeah. Well, obviously I want to talk about a lot, but I do want to talk about. We've mentioned on the podcast that like the chaos. Who are their stars on offense? We've called them kind of a no-name offense. I'm curious. I don't know if you ever seen the meme usually used for football where it's like, name this player. And it's like talent, recognition. Who do you think on the chaos offense, like their skill level does not match their hype or their notoriety level?
Phenomenal question.
Thanks.
Ooh. I mean, I think that fits into a lot of guys' boats. I think the kid Jackson Eicher has been incredibly impressive this year. I think for what he's asked to do, I think he's been one of the most impressive rookies at just game in and game out being consistent. He hasn't had many lulls, like doesn't have any days where he's off. Like I think he's a kid that, and again, like that's tough because he was the recognition of like was a Tour-a-thon finalist. So, you know, I'm like kind of putting this in a weird category here, but you know, I think he's been great. I think a guy like Adam Charlambides, who's like been in and around the league a bunch, and like I think he's found a home here. I hope he stays. Like I love the way he plays. You know, he's older than a lot of the guys we have, so he's like turned in. You know, him and Perkovic are kind of like the more leaders of the offense in terms of just like being vets there. But I would say Charlambides and Eicher. You know, I think 𝐓𝐇𝐄 starting to play his name into being recognized a lot. So you know, I don't know if 𝐓𝐿T's unrecognized right now.
Yeah, I mean, 𝐓𝐿T's definitely people know his name, and I think he's stepping up like that. There were a lot of people questioning that pick and kind of like raising eyebrows around it, but he's looked perfectly worth it. And Eicher, definitely the best undrafted guy this year. And I got to shout out, you mentioned it at the top of the interview, but like that play where he got knocked down and made the pass, gets it to Zawato, bounce it around. That was our Duke Cannon work harder, smell better play of the week. It was awesome. Just love seeing that ball movement and the finish by Ross Scott. All of it, grit and ball movement was awesome.
And they're like the best group of dudes. Like they're like, again, young guys, but like they're just the best group of guys to hang out with. Like they're awesome on the field in practice. Like it's been a really fun year in that regard.
That's awesome. Hoagie, you got the next one.
Yeah, Jack. Besides you, Troy, and Blaze, we've talked about this on the show. Like, we've kind of called the rest of the team, people will say, like, I called it, like, almost like the island of misfit toys. Kind of like a lot of guys out there, like, trying to prove themselves. Or, you know, someone else might have said, you know, you're not good enough for us, but, like, you know, you're on the Chaos now, and you've kind of, you know, found a spot. You guys are 3-3 and in 5th place in the league right now, which if you ask anyone in lacrosse media in the preseason, I feel like they would have said that you guys would be clearly the worst team in the league. How have you guys kind of taken that hate, I'd say, maybe on media or criticism? I feel like people were like counted you guys out before you even stepped foot on the field week 1 in Albany against the Atlas. How has that locker room kind of said, screw them and we're going to kind of play for ourselves and play chaos ball?
Yeah, again, right? Like professional lacrosse is kind of weird. Like there are almost like teams that know how to beat other teams, and there are teams that struggle historically against certain groups. You know, again, like with our defense, like the guys you name, and Jared Newman as well, I would add into that, right? Like, you know, like we know how to play some of these offenses. Like, so even in one of the losses against the, you know, New York in week 1, I mean, we gave up, 8 or 9 goals until the last play, and I missed it over the head check, and they scored, you know, the freebie at the end there. But, like, we know how to play against a lot of these groups. So whether it takes our offense a little bit of time or whether it's, you know, new pieces on that end, like we do have a handful of guys that have had success in the league and understand how the pro game is played a little bit. And then kind of the counter of that is like on the offensive side, I think what makes our group really hard is like we almost play like a college style of no real like alpha male. Whoever has a matchup, you go to work, everybody play off each other. We need everybody. And you don't really see that college style, everybody move, flow, kind of like one big unit. I feel like the pro game at some point turns into like a one-on-one battle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think we do that well.
All right, Jack, a follow-up on that too. Obviously, chaos ball. I feel like when people think of the chaos, they think of you, they think of Jared, they think of the defense, hard-nosed, you know, physicality. Mitch and I played with a guy on your team, Greg Langermeyer. He was a walk-on at Ohio State. Showed up, walked onto the team, was an All-American as a senior this year at Ohio State. Shows up to training camp. He's on the Redwoods training camp, gets cut by the Redwoods. One of those guys you mentioned before just gets picked up and shows up at camp, and he's been a contributor week in, week out for you guys. Talk to us a little about Greg and Greg Langermeyer, how much he's meant to the team, a little bit about him.
He's phenomenal. No, I mean, like you said, he fits into like that tough-nosed culture. He's a little dumb. He didn't realize that fighting Colin Heacock in Baltimore like wasn't the brightest idea. He decided like that's who he wanted to go with on the crease. Again, love the kid. I will always have his back in that fight because he's my teammate. That's my boy. But no, like again, like a guy who comes in just wants to play hard, right? You know, he's been an awesome addition. Like he does everything the right way. You know, the Coach Myers way from Ohio State. Like we all know I played for Coach Myers in high school a little bit too. So no, he's been a fantastic add. He's also an off the field All-American for us so far this summer.
Is he going to get Guy Fieri out to a game? Isn't Guy Fieri
his uncle? His uncle's Guy Fieri. Yeah, you got to get him out to a game.
That'd be exciting.
Mitch, I think if you asked anyone what PLL team does Greg Langermeyer fit on, I think the Chaos, without a doubt, would be the pick. 100%.
100%. And Jack, I want to kind of stay on the social media play with you a tad. I feel like you are one of the best guys to mic up. Anytime they mic you up, you know exactly what to say, whether it's the chirps, whether it's like you're actually talking to the mic or the camera. Where do you get that background? Like, where does that come from?
It's hit or miss, man. Yeah, sometimes the feedback I get from social media on some of that's not tremendous, but no, the best way I can explain it, because I've been asked this question before, is like, it's honestly just like gratefulness to the game. Like, not good at a lot of things in life, not super bright, not like, super, I don't know, smart or whatever else you want to say. So like, I understand lacrosse. I understand how to play defense. I understand how to coach it. So like, when I'm there, I'm going to do it as best as I can. I'm going to give everything I have to the game. If that means I have to talk, rub my mouth, whatever that is, like, I'm grateful to be there. I'm going to give this 110% effort the entire time. Because again, like, my dad always says, like, they're going to take the ball away from you at some point. Like, you're going to get old. Something's going to happen. Like, they're going to take the ball away. So while you're there, make sure you're doing the best you can and enjoy it, right? Like, that's what I tell all the kids that, whether you coach or recruit or whatever, it's like, you got to love what you do, man. Like, if you want to do this for a long time, you have to love it. And I do. So just try to show that a little bit.
Jack, I thought your pregame speech was one of the best PLL pregame speeches I've heard this week. I'm curious who on the Chaos let a motherfucker know.
That's phenomenal. I mean, Jared Newman with 2 penalties. That's pretty impressive. He's not normally a foul guy, so we like that he's getting in the penalty box. Blaze Reardon actually had a pretty big hit when Ryder came across the crease. I don't think Ryder, so that might have been on a push or something, but Blaze had a big hit. I think Austin Kaut made it out to the goal for a first goal ball for Ignacio maybe. So, like, it's just the Chaos. So you need everybody doing their job or we don't tick right.
Speaking of letting a motherfucker know, Blaze has done that a couple of times this year. Obviously, we're guilty of it as podcasters. We're very reactionary, but a couple of weeks ago, the popular thing to do was rank the best goalies in the world and leave Blaze out of it. I know you got into the mix on some of that, and we've seen his performances since, but I'm just curious from your perspective, what makes Blaze so great, and is he in a category of his own, truly?
Yeah, I mean, I think in 7 years you have one bad day. I think you can just you're good with me. Like, you can have the one bad day in 7 years we've been together. So, no, I mean, again, like, I think the fact that he can go from having a day where he would admit it wasn't his brightest to the next game being a 20 save performance, again, puts him in that category of like, yeah, I can have a bad day, flush it faster than anything, and go back out there and be elite time in and time out, And again, like, we can talk about all these pieces, but he is what kind of keeps our group going. And, from a vocal leadership to a playing, leadership position, he is the heart and soul of our group, along with, like, I love that article he put out with Austin Kaut, right? Like, those two together, I think, are the best tandem, just personality-wise, in lacrosse. Like, not being with them every weekend, it gets sad in the offseason.
Caut's got to be the front runner for a teammate of the year.
I don't know how he's not. Like, he is just the best dude. I'm laughing because I just think of so many stories about Kaut every time someone brings his name up.
Jack, when I think of throwback weekend, I think the first thing that pops in my mind is that picture of you with your shirt up when you had the handprint of the stick on your chest. So 2 things. 1, do you still have that scar there? You still got it on there? And then 2nd, what's your favorite Chaos throwback uniform that you've worn of all of them throughout the years?
What's actually funny, and I'm not going to show you, but I actually got the exact same one this weekend from Malloy. I have a fat one on my left ribs right now. A little bit skinnier on the head throat side. It must have bent a little bit. I have a scar right now from Dylan Malloy. I think these were the best jerseys we've ever had. Like, from the stitching, the cut, I thought the all black look was really, really clean. I would say these are the best throwbacks we've ever had as a Chaos group.
Kev, you're going to have to find a way to get that clip now for TLN of the...
I know, yeah, you're holding back, man. That would have been the thumbnail.
There was someone with the camera next to... I put my shirt down. I was like, I can't have this click all over the
Again.
Jack, I would say for you, I'm Obviously, with the big news in college coaching this year, we've talked about on the show the amount of guys kind of leaving college coaching. There's a ton of open jobs for you. And obviously, today we saw breaking news with Connor Shellenberger getting that third assistant role, which I don't think any of us were thinking that was something that he was going to take up as well. But why do you think there's so many jobs that opened up this spring?
It's a phenomenal question, actually. I don't know if I'm the perfect guy to answer this. I think, like I said, lacrosse is something that a lot of people do for a long, long time, and you love it and you love it and you love it, and then there comes a time where you get tired, right? And I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but I think the landscape of college athletics is funky right now. I think that gives people a little bit of stress on what does their job look like. Maybe not this year, but what is my university going to do in 5-10 years, right? And again, I can't speak for all of them when I say that, but like I know some of the guys who I've talked to who have decided to get out simply were just like, yeah, I thought it was the right time to just try something else. Like that was as simply as they put it. They're like, hey, I'm leaving, whatever. Like you said in the text, like hope everything's well. And they're like, yep, I just thought it was time for something different right now. So, I'm not sure why a lot of guys are leaving it. I know I still really enjoy working in college lacrosse. I mean, I was on campus today, and we have a bunch of our guys here for summer school, and just like walking past them, while they're in the weight room and everything, it's just nice to be around the fellas,
Yeah, like you said, you're in the thick of it, obviously playing and coaching year round. Kind of walk us through what your world really looks like. Not even day to day, like throughout the year. I mean, I feel like you don't get a break.
Yeah, January to like November, like Easter, Thanksgiving. Like January to Thanksgiving's pretty brutal. And then you get a nice like 5-week stretch, like from Thanksgiving to like January 7th normally. So, which is, it's tough. My girlfriend works in sales, and like December Q4 is like the worst for her sales quota and going on vacation. So we work on that balance a little bit, but yeah, just busy on the weekends. Coaching in college is a little bit nicer because you play, hopefully more home games and away games. So you're at least like down the street, and it's just like Saturday, you're done at 2:00 and you still have the weekend to be able to like enjoy yourself and be a human. But no, again, it's fun. I'm very blessed to be doing something where I enjoy it every moment of the day. Don't have a ton of other skills. So, this is what we do.
Hey, Boston U's looked pretty good recently. What can we expect heading into the fall? How you feeling about the team?
Feel very excited about the guys. Yeah, no. Played a lot of young bucks last year. Fell short, in our Patriot League championship game. But, yeah, bringing a good young class. And, again, I think we are right on the edge of taking that next big step into NCAA playoff push and hopefully being able to win the conference. And, again, we got to do it one day at a time, though, like I tell all my guys, and don't want to get ahead of myself, at all in that. But,
yeah,
no, excited about it.
I was curious how you feel, because I feel like the Patriot League is one of the healthiest leagues. Like, it's a big league, a lot of parity, which is one of the things we celebrate about the PLL. And yet I feel like it comes back to bite the Patriot League every year, in the sense that like the team that kind of at the top during the regular season may not win the tournament, and then only the team that wins the tournament gets in. So I don't know. I wonder how you feel. How does your team feel as a Patriot League member that like it's so often viewed as a one bid league, but it's really kind of deep?
Yeah, no, I think there's a ton of talent there, right? I think, obviously Army has been the national kind of media darling of the past couple years. The Terriers have beat them, 5 times in a row, whatever, we'll let that go. But yeah, no, I mean, Navy's ranked every year. Loyola historically is a, awesome program. Lehigh's in and out of the rankings, just as we are, just as, a lot of those groups, right? So I do think it's tough that the Patriot League only gets one team into the tournament. I think there are teams, I think we play a pretty robust schedule in terms of like our out of conference opponents and trying to challenge ourselves in that way. But yeah, just seems like the way it's been. I don't know what the answer to that is, though. I don't know if it's expansion and that means everybody gets in, or I'm not saying that that's necessarily right. Again, I think we have to, if we want to be in a position where no one can question us, when we schedule teams from the ACC and the Ivy League and the Big Ten, we have to win. Yep. And you can look at it a million different ways, but if we want to beat the Ohio States of the world, we have to play them and win those games in order to put ourselves in that position. That's the only way we can have no gripes about it.
Well, you're right on the door. That Duke game was very close this year. I know, and as you mentioned, you guys have had the upper hand on Army for a while, so I'll definitely be rooting for the Terriers this year.
Trying, man. Hopefully.
Yep.
I like that. Well, Jack, appreciate you, brother. Anything for us? Anything you got for us?
No, is the Chaos the least talked about group on this show? Just because we probably
But
sell.
it's turning. It's turning. This win was huge, I think. And
Okay.
we started the show off with you can't count the Chaos out. And I have a graphic up here. We do it every week. We do pick'ems every week, and we have 4 Redwood logos: me, Hoagie, Kevin, and Doogs. Because no one picked Chaos. But again, we're owning that here on the show. That's what we do.
One thing that's never been doubted on this show, though, is that Blaze Reardon's the best goalie in the league and in the world. That's never been on question. Other guys,
we stayed out of that.
We stayed out of that mud. We've been very hard on Blaze is the best. Don't even question it. So we'll stand on that.
I would venture to say the Chaos probably sell the least amount of, if you take Blaze out, we sell the least amount of jerseys in the league. We just have guys who kids don't probably know everybody on our team, but that's why I was curious if we were the least talked about team, because we just probably have I don't know if you guys could name our entire 19-man roster right now.
No shot.
Outside of Kev. I don't know.
No shot.
Mitch, could you name our roster from last week?
It says Kev. Yeah. We do say, we always mention Kev and Hoagie. This is a question for you. Before we end, give us your top 5 biggest lax rats in the league.
Okay, there we go.
Good.
We've asked a ton of players this, and I'm curious to hear your top 5. Start from 5 and go to 1.
Okay, 5 to 1. I'll put Ryder Garnsey at 5. Definitely a lax rat. I mean, when you coach college lacrosse, he knows every kid in the country. I don't know if that counts. We're on a little bit of a different wave. We know every kid that's ever come out of college for the last 5 years.
That counts.
That's tough. Ryder's definitely there. I've coached a bunch of camps with him. Blaze Reardon I'll put him at 4. He's maybe the greatest camp instructor for little kids of all time. He has the best games. He has the best energy. Blaze crushes it. We used to do camps with Joe Walters up in Roch. Those were awesome. Lax rats. Okay, those are 2. Wow, good question.
Would you consider yourself a massive lax rat? If you could put yourself...
I would, yeah. No, I tell the kids I coach at BU, you need to be lax rats. I know everything about the game. All the highlight tapes you ever want to talk about, yep, seen them. Any piece of this you want to dive into, the old school head, shafts, got it. So, I could be on that list. A guy I know personally who I talk lacrosse with all the time is Brian Costabile. We just have known each other for forever. I know he's a dude that loves the game. And then, I don't know if this is a lax rep, but just a guy who has a story about every pro player ever is Austin Kaut. You could bring up a guy who played 1 shift ever, and Austin Kaut has a story about him for you. So I don't know if that's a great list, but that's my group.
Yeah, we were talking to Asher too in Albany in week 1, and he was saying there's the different levels of lax rats. He was there's guys who know his brother's sister just got a new job last week at this new firm. And they're how do you know that his brother's sister got a new job at this firm? Or there's TJ Malone we had a couple weeks ago. He said he doesn't even know who's guarding him. He doesn't even know half the players on the other teams. It was one of the craziest things. He's there's levels of lax rats or different types of rats.
I was with Brett Dobson at the All-Star game. He is a lax rat.
Yes.
He knows every detail about every kid ever, how many assists he had in college, everything. Brett's a lax rat. That's a good ad.
God, I love it. Well, Jack, we'll appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, guys. No, for sure. That was great.
Keeping this thing going, start, bench, cut. We have a different one this week. Not lacrosse related. Consumer product related.
Don't even tell me. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah. When are we doing start, bench, cut,
What are we
frog
doing?
merch?
Oh, God.
Dude. Where would I start?
What do we do?
All right, start, bench, cut, Gatorade flavors.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
New sponsorship deal.
New sponsorship. Talk to us about the sponsorship deal,
Yeah,
Hoagie.
PLL sponsorship deal back with Gatorade. Obviously extending that partnership together.
Making it official with the PLL and WLL
let's be
through
real.
2028.
Let's be real. You think of a championship.
Smart play. You know why?
Why?
Olympics.
Yeah.
Gosh.
We'll be there too.
We will
Yeah,
be there.
we will
doing
be.
a
Live show.
We'll be there.
live show
We'll
for
be
the
there.
championship.
We'll be there. We locked that in.
We locked it
That
in.
is locked
Right,
in.
we'll lock it in.
RJ, all the
RJ,
guys.
lock it in.
Talk to us. Talk to us. All right, start bench cut. Light blue, yellow, orange.
Ooh.
I'm starting us off
Let's see it.
because I might be the oddball here when people might think I'm not. But with this crew, we got a unique cast.
I've never seen you drink a Gatorade, by the way.
Well, he should start.
I do like Gatorade, but I got to mix it with half water. I am starting light blue.
Wow.
I'm starting light blue.
Cool
You know
Blue's
what?
good.
That was the most predictable.
Oh, no,
thing
it's
of all
glacier
time.
free.
No, no, no. But
Glacier freeze.
I feel like none of you guys are going to start that.
I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. God, hit a push-up. Starting Glacier Freeze. And I'm not even benching. I'm doing an oddball.
What are you doing?
I'm cutting both yellow and orange.
What?
I would have start blue, bench red, and then
You're heinous.
that's probably it. I don't like the orange and the orange and yellow.
Half
Yeah.
water this, that.
Half water that. Yeah. Kev, let's go virtual with you in South Carolina.
Honestly, ridiculous answer there, Mitch. But look, I'm going to go start orange. I like orange. All
God.
things.
No.
Orange Gatorade.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
can
that
drink
is
it. I can
crazy.
drink that
That's the
first
age
thing
gap.
in
It
the
was
morning.
orange back in
I
the
can drink
day.
it anytime. I love orange Gatorade. I'm going to bench light blue Gatorade because I think if you're playing sports, you are super thirsty. Nothing better embodies thirst quencher than Glacier Freeze light blue Gatorade.
Thirst
Cut
quencher
that
is an
first
old
off.
word, too. I'll just
And then,
put that out there.
unfortunately,
I see like a Michael Jordan poster with like Gatorade thirst quencher as a logo.
Kev, don't let
We
him
gotta
do this.
we
Kev,
gotta
do
this.
not let him come at
We
you
gotta
with
get
this.
we gotta get Kev that Gatorade ad where it's like Kev like with the black and white photo like sweating blue Gatorade.
Like you just
Yeah, like but in the podcast booth.
and then I'm cutting yellow. Honestly, this really breaks my heart. I love yellow Gatorade, lemon lime, classic flavor. These were my top three. I picked the three flavors for this, but I think next we should do, start bench cut our favorite Beyond Meats.
I've tried Little Beyond Meat.
I had it. Mitch tried to do a video in college. 30-day challenge of eating Beyond Meat. He only
No,
lasted 3 days.
that was not it.
What was it? Vegan?
It was 30 days going vegan as a D1
Mitch
athlete.
was making. You can look it
Dudes,
up.
what
on
are your
his
thoughts on
channel.
that?
On what?
My channel.
After 3 days,
On your
Mitch
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. People, yeah. Anyways.
Mitch
yeah.
had the tofu. He couldn't get the tofu.
I love your channel. I love your channel. The Marco Lombardi videos. Are you gonna try for another high school team next year? You think?
I might have to. What about Garden City? Think I'd make it?
Dude, I would love for you to try to do something with Garden City.
If I did Garden City, would you be out there with me?
Dude, I don't think they would let me.
Mitch, I got
Bad blood. All right,
Wait,
dude,
what do
let's
you
go
got,
to you.
Kev? What do you got, Kev?
I don't know if you, sorry, this is so derailing, but real quick. I don't know if you saw the Italian goalie goal. They're playing over in Europe right now, World Lacrosse. Did you see that by any chance, Mitch?
Jake Malasek
You should do a
out there.
video where you're trying out for Team Italy.
Yeah, Jake Malasek out there laying lumber.
Jake Malasek, what a week for him.
Yes.
Also,
Amazing
tune
week.
into
Yes.
this. He had a game-winning save, man down, clutch gene, decked someone on the other team. But then he had. You were saying he had an own goalie goal. You think he scored his first goal?
No.
ever with his own goal.
This was Italy, Team Italy. He's on Team Czech Republic.
Okay, I thought he had the own.
Still,
goalie
though,
goal.
great content by Jake on Twitter all week. I've been watching those clips.
Yeah. He's great. He's gonna be an Olympian. It's crazy.
Jeez.
But when
But Mitch, you got to try out for Team Italy. Do a video on it.
Yeah, I mean, 100% Italian, so I don't really know like what's the biggest.
why don't you, dude? Yeah,
Well, I'm trying to run a business. You know, we get the frog merch, we get the cans.
frog merch. Got it. F45.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
F45. You said you could shoot 95. So, dude,
100. 100.
Yeah, wait. Can we get this Jared Newman charity thing this weekend at PLO weekend at
Ooh,
Fairfield?
nice. I
Let's
agree.
do it.
Let's do it.
We should do it
Yeah.
at halftime.
Yeah, let's
do
do
it
it.
at halftime.
Yeah, let's do it.
Halftime. Like, you know, when they go to like make the half quarter, it's like Pelkinator and
We
Jared.
gotta see if we can get that rolling this weekend too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk to RJ. All right, keep it going, Dukes.
Start bench cut. Kev, these are my 3 favorite flavors as well. I want to start orange. I love orange.
That is
Gatorade.
crazy.
I wanted to bench light blue just as for the same reason, but yellow deserves some respect here.
What, guys? It's just
Put some
Yellow
respect.
deserves some respect here. Cut light blue. I think it's too basic.
Or are you putting red on that?
Red's probably
I don't like red.
last.
Jesus. All right,
Dude,
go.
I like all Gatorade flavors.
Dude,
I think
know-
a sneaky one is the
strawberry lemonade.
What?
no.
Strawberry lemonade?
Yeah, the pink
Gatorade?
one. Yeah. You guys get out of the house? You touch grass at all?
The white Gatorade. The white Gatorade.
the
It's
Glacier
like
Cherry.
Glacier Cherry.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You know what? You want to say Duke said the yellow deserves some respect. He's the #1 respecter of women.
Yeah, we can't forget that.
I'll be the #1 respecter of Gatorade here. Yellow Gatorade's a star for me. That's my favorite flavor of Gatorade.
Is that the OG?
I mean, that's got to be one of the OGs.
Red's
I think
the
it is
OG.
the OG.
Red's the OG. Can you guys?
Yellow Gatorade,
Sick.
start, Glacier Freeze, blue, bench, cut the orange, get it out there. I'll never
Orange.
grab the
Kev.
orange that's sitting around.
You know why? Because Gatorade came out when Kev was 10. They
But
only
I'll tell
flavored
you
that
what,
as orange.
Mitch runs the camp, so he knows all the powdered Gatorades and stuff. When you were back in high school, I don't know if playing lacrosse or summer football, and the trainer would have the powdered Gatorade, the
Yeah.
Riptide Rush.
Yes.
It's like that purple one, or the blue,
Yeah.
the powder.
never
I didn't
drank
like
Gatorade.
purple.
Yeah,
I didn't like
yeah,
purple.
No, it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
grape, though. The Riptide Rush is fire. It's a good one. Try it. Cool Blue, too. Another great flavor.
One of-
#1 respecter of Gatorade.
On the note of Gatorade right now, I think I would do something on the fly.
Yeah.
Everyone predict for the championship game right now what color the Gatorade bath will be.
Purple.
Absolutely not. Kev, do you know?
No, I don't know, but I'm gonna guess orange.
I'm gonna go red.
I'm gonna go yellow.
I had a feeling it was yellow. I just didn't want to say it.
I think red is the last color to be because it stains everything.
Yes.
It literally,
All
if you
right,
have a white shirt on,
No, I'm gonna do it. No, you locked it in. You said it on the show.
hey,
You said it
whoever
right there, you locked it in.
whoever predicts the wrong flavor,
I
we'll
was
do a
gonna say
shoey.
blue.
We'll do a shoey.
No.
Shoey. Whoever has the worst
Dude,
flavor.
he hasn't even done his pot wings yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. We
Yeah,
should
me
do it
either.
today.
Oh my god.
God, the
If
guy
I-
doesn't own up to his challenges.
If I had
Sick.
to do the hot wings challenge today after Chicago, that would
The
have been,
bathroom is right there.
that would have been the meanest thing of all time.
Gosh, I love that. All right, let's wrap up another beautiful episode with Pehlke potentially getting his first win in Ball Knower of the Week. Producer Core, what do we got?
All right, ball knower of the week. Who has the most left-handed goals this season without attempting a right-handed
Levi Anderson.
shot? Bingo.
Dude,
What?
see, they're behind the scenes talking to each other about this stuff.
That had to have been
Nah,
posted
he
on
reads
PLL
joke-
somewhere.
Where was that posted?
AP's got that.
That AP, that was on
AP,
Twitter.
it
I
was
saw
on
that.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, I got the answer right.
Because Duke saw that on Twitter. I saw this.
Why do you guys
If you
care?
guys think Ball Knower of the Week is
So
rigged,
that
comment below.
If you see it on Twitter, though, that's just
Wait,
like.
what's the standings?
So, by the way, Kev, just to clarify, Mitch can't keep up with stuff that's going on today. He can't keep up with
No,
stuff
hold
that
on,
was
hold
going
on.
20 years ago.
Hold on.
What are you good at?
What is the standings?
Kev is in first.
With how many?
Doogs is in second.
I'm in third.
Look at the numbers. You're in third.
Are we really counting half point? That's
Oh,
like,
we're doing
oh,
halves?
that's
How?
like, oh, last place gets the trophy.
yeah.
But we're not doing halves.
I have 2.
Kev got 3. Doogs
So Hoagie has nothing then.
No, but I have to get something because then me and Kev technically split.
No, but
that
Kev would have said
Well,
it.
there was one 2-part answer, so
Yeah.
we're going to give one to
Yeah.
Hoagie.
But I had a 2-part answer, too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, he did. He did.
What'd you say?
You're still in second.
I said Ryan Boyle.
You're still ahead. Yeah.
Update the graphics on it.
That's crazy though. That was on Twitter, and
What do you want me to do?
No, I
Not
know.
no ball?
I respect it, but
I was there. I saw Levi Anderson. Bang! Reminded me of my days at the beach club playing fiddlesticks. Let's get a little fiddlesticks going on.
We should do hackies, actually.
Fairfield.
You can hop in that. Hoagie and I can.
Yeah.
We'll get Miles. Miles back. Little
We will
cameo
see
this
you
weekend.
guys next Wednesday.